Hello and welcome to the Boswell podcast with me, Rick Pearson.
And me, Ben Hobson.
And me, Rachel Boswell.
And today we're talking about solo running versus group running. Ben, you're a bit of a loner. Where do you stand?
Ben, you've got no mates. No, I do the majority of my running solo, be that good or bad. But it tends to be that way, it works out that way. I think convenience is the main reason.
That's the main driver.
That's the main driver of it. And I just haven't found anyone good enough to run with me. It's the main thing.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that.
definitely.
Yeah.
No, I was very much started running on my own, so that became standard. It didn't feel like I needed anything else to happen. And then I think over time I've joined a couple of different group runs, but it's always been that thing like we meet at 9 o'clock on this day, and I would just be like, it doesn't quite work out for me. I feel like I want to, if I'm getting up in the morning to go running, I'll get up and go running at 6:30.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm out and done, and then it's, everything, the day carries on. Whereas that sort of like step into the day, it's a bit late. You're going to run, and then there's all coffee afterwards, and I'm just like, come on.
I'm on a bit of a schedule.
Oh, well, not really, but more of just like, I don't want to spend this amount of time, doing that with you.
With you, friend.
With you,
close friend.
With your weird other people. But on the flip of that, the times I do run with people is a marked difference in terms of all the things that we'll get into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
About why one isn't, we're not saying one is better than the other, but it's just that thing of discussing it.
The pros and cons.
Of both. And why, if you're someone who does predominantly one, myself, solo, the benefits of the odd group run now and again.
How about you, Rachel? Are you a solo or group runner?
I'm almost exactly like Ben.
Exactly. Same pace.
Too fast to run with people, a little bit unfriendly.
Arguably, yes. So I would probably run about 90, maybe 95% of my runs alone. And that is like you mostly for convenience. Like I will fit, like I run a lot, but I will always plan it in advance around my day. Am I running into the office, out of the office?
Okay, yeah.
Where am I, like, what distance am I doing? What am I training for? There's like so many things to think about, and sometimes it's easier to just go out and do it when I have the time to do it. And as you say, like the odd group run, when it's sort of arranged and it works, it's fantastic. Running with other people is great. It's a great chance to catch up. But a lot of the time, that overcomplicates things sometimes for me.
Okay.
I'm interested as well, because you are a member of a club and you race with your club.
Yeah, sometimes.
So how does that, because I would feel like, is there pressure to be more involved with the club, or is it okay if you just turn up and race and it's fine?
I mean, my club is great. There is no pressure to go and join like lots of runs. Like the club doesn't have like a running track. It's got a little clubhouse, a tiny little clubhouse in Wimbledon. I don't live near Wimbledon, I don't train with them regularly. And sometimes I'm like, it would be good if I did. I probably should. But then being part of the group via like emails and WhatsApps, in a way I know what's going on. Being a part of a club gives me access to races that I probably I definitely wouldn't have done otherwise. I've met a lot of people, made friends with quite a lot of people. We'll all go into this, these pros, but there's no pressure on me to attend a lot. So sometimes you kind of like, I think I did like inspired by Rick Pearson, no less. I did some mile
on a daily basis.
I did a mile relay event, which is very out of my comfort zone. Anyway, that was with the club and lots of running clubs. And I actually turned up and they were like, it's the elusive Rachel Boswell back from her marathons. And I was like, there
you go. You get marked out as the loner.
This is what I mean. So I was like, maybe I should do more with the club.
Do more.
You though, what about you?
I'm way more social than you two.
Oh wow, look at him go.
I love to group run. Look, if I had my way, I would probably run with other people 90% of the time.
Yeah, agreed. And I would say I would like that too.
Yeah.
But I just don't think I've quite reached the logistical balance that requires.
I'm always trying to rope people in for runs.
Yeah.
People I barely know. Do you want to go for a run?
Chasing people down in the street. You're running already. Can I run with you?
Can we run together? I always do a sort of weekend run with a few close mates.
That's good.
And that's been such a nice way of like, and we tend to try and have like a tea or a coffee afterwards. And yeah, I think all those things that that we've talked about in the magazine or on the website is like It's great for conversation running, particularly like easy running. I think you can kind of open up in a way that maybe people do when they're walking, but that's harder when you're kind of facing someone.
Yeah.
And I find it really energising running other people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I did have a rare opportunity to go running with the dog pack at the weekend.
This is for the uninitiated. This is your crew.
This is my absolute ride or dies. There's like 5 of us, and most of us were there, and we went for a run together.
Nice.
And it was good. So then, equally from that point of view, pals just going for a run. Not a running club, but just running with your mates.
What's the ideal number of people? I'll give you some options.
Oh, go on then. Okay, this is
the ideal number of other people to run with.
Other people.
Yeah, not on your own. So we know
ideal
that's number one. Is it one other? Is it between 2 and 5? Is it between 6 and 10, or is it 10 plus?
No, it's 2 to 5. I reckon maybe 2 to 5, and then happily moving into the 6 to 10. No, 2 to 5. Yeah, 6 to 10. 10 plus is just chaos.
An army. You're an army at that point.
Yeah.
You're going 2 to 5.
Oh yeah, 2 to 5. 2 to 5.
What about just the one other person?
Yeah, fine, great.
Do that.
Do that regularly.
You'd rather.
But you said 2 to 5, right?
Yeah, but you could pick your favourite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one other. Or two. Yeah, 1 to 5 then.
Not an option.
Fine.
2 to 5.
With your strict numbers.
2 to 5.
Okay, 2 to 5 then. Yeah.
I know what you mean. I feel like there's something when you're moving on massive, like a few more people. There's something it's quite exciting about that.
I have done big run clubs before, and you're like maybe 50 people are out running, and there's like a great power in numbers thing, and you do feel like involved in a tribe.
Oh yeah.
If you're going to be all like that sort of stuff, and I can see why people love doing it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to do it all the time.
I agree. There's something quite energising about these massive runs, as you say, and there's someone there with a boombox. Like there's like music. You're basically taking over your area in a way, and it's because it's so different to what I would normally do on a day-to-day basis. I'm like, wow, this is cool. But at the same time, I'm like, where am I? Am I going to trip up?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're stopping at road and I can't even see the roads. So there's something ever so slightly stressful about it. Yeah. But it is massively uplifting and fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't do all my runs like that because I'd be too worried about the fact that I'm not doing my interval session.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm sort of running with sort of 50 other people and feeling quite stressed.
It's funny actually. I did a little bit of research before this episode.
Love that. Go on.
And do you remember the wonderful book Out of Thin Air that looked into Ethiopian running culture?
Yeah, great book.
And one of the things he said was that in Ethiopia, I'll quote the great man himself.
He
said, running alone, like eating alone, or even just sitting alone, is seen as deeply antisocial and borderline suspicious in Ethiopia.
God.
All the top athletes train in large groups, with each taking it in turn to pace various sections of a long run. Athletes talk about following the footsteps of the person in front of them, and they have a belief that energy is not something created purely by one person, but something you can tap into collectively as a group.
Yeah, and I mean, all the good East African nations, Kenya as well, like went out there and witnessed the.
Yes, of course. This is your Kenyan odyssey.
Yes.
The meeting at certain junctions on certain roads for the certain session.
Yeah.
Huge numbers, and they all bowl up and just go running together.
Yeah.
And I think that is massive.
Yeah.
Hugely determines the
sort of success
and the culture and the continued success of that running culture.
Yeah.
Feeds off of everyone joining in and doing the same session or trying to do the same session.
Yeah.
As the very best people.
Yeah.
What's so interesting about that is it's like you have those kind of massive groups in the UK and they're fantastic. There's more run clubs than ever, more run crews, so inclusive, and it's brilliant. Sort of in Kenya and Ethiopia, you kind of have that mentality, that huge community spirit, but it's all like a lot of the time very performance-based.
It's always performance.
So it's like, come join our community and we'll run a ridiculous marathon pace for 2 hours. And you're going to be and it's going to be great, and we're going to do our collective warm-up, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And everything is together. Even, you have the documentaries. I mean, you've sort of seen it. Everyone does everything around the run together.
Yeah.
Like eating, like it's the whole kind of lived experience, and it's community, but very much with performance in mind.
Do you think, from a performance point of view, do you think this is where I think that solo group stuff is quite interesting? Because if I'm training for something very specific, or if I'm doing certain interval sessions, I've done it as a group before, and I think that's fine. It works quite well. But you do tend to break away and do your own thing anyway.
Yeah, you're unlikely to be exactly the same pace.
You're unlikely to be the same pace as someone else. Do you get more out of it, even if you do that group, you're doing your own session within a group,
Yeah.
do you get more out of it, or are you happier just to go and do your intervals on your own and like get it ticked off? And like, which one do you find?
I would always prefer to do the hard session in company.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's something around you will just try harder
Yeah.
and you can get more out of yourself in that setting, even if, as you say, like the person's 5 or 10 seconds down the road from you. There is a bit of science there, isn't it? I think that it's, I think perception of effort and pain tolerance is, so you get lower perception of effort and your pain tolerance just goes up when you run in a group.
Huge.
I think actually it's a very natural thing to do, isn't it? I think like if you go back into the kind of hunter-gatherer theory that I love.
Yeah.
You just kind of bang on about it all the time. What's for lunch, Rich?
It's antelope again, is it? Yeah, give me 8 hours, so run it down. I think it's a natural human thing of it's like keeping up with the tribe. Is actually like there's a kind of evolutionary imperative to do that. So quite like tapping into that.
I think you always run faster when you. A really easy training hack is just run with people who are faster than you.
Yes.
Because you just end up your perception of effort is, you'll know it's hard, but you kind of have that, as you say.
It's about keeping up, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I sort of I have phases with this. Like I've joined training groups before in Battersea Park, some very good runners.
Yeah.
And it's very inspiring because you, as you say, if you can visually see something to chase, you have. Whereas when I normally do intervals by myself, and I'm trying, but then it's kind of like you're trying against
the watch,
like what really, like trying to dodge things along the way, like in the park.
Yeah.
But having people to chase at the start, I found it a bit demoralising actually.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm at the back. I'm the slowest.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's the other part. Yeah.
I've been dropped. But it does make you want to sort of push.
Yeah.
And I think actually right now, like, I'm like, I really want to find another sort of speed session training group. Anyone help? Sign me up.
Call for help on the internet.
But then,
that's why you're really here.
But to find like a sort of training group that's also sort of convenient for like location wise for me. Just make it around me. But then I do actually sometimes get quite stressed about, what if they're too fast?
Yeah.
Or
I think a lot of people feel that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you don't want to be the fastest because then you're not challenging yourself. So I sort of do a lot of intervals by myself. And actually, I was doing intervals yesterday, and when I'm actually doing the interval, I'm like, I don't want anyone to hear that.
Yeah, true.
I'm not looking my best during interval 5.
I've done intervals with my partner who paces the mile.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's great, but sometimes I hate it because we'll be doing a faster thing and he'll just be talking to me. I'm like,
could you at least look like you're trying harder?
Yeah.
So there's the fine line, but I think it is actually productive.
I think so.
Yeah.
We've talked about convenience, haven't we? And solo running is definitely better in terms of convenience. Is there a way of making group running convenient? Have you ever come up with had a kind of regular group thing that isn't maybe a club, but you've managed to make it work more on your own terms?
Well, the dog pack, because we all live really close to each other.
Are you on the same road, aren't you?
Well, 2 of us are. Yeah. And then so that's why it's convenient, because it's not even like having to go somewhere and meet. We just literally can send a message and be like, do you want to meet at the end of the road?
Yeah.
And that works. And we're all fairly similar life points. We've all got kids, so it's
Did you see each other out running? How did this happen?
Yeah, so I mean, I just clocked my neighbour Josh going for a run, and then he saw me going for a run, and then we were just hanging out like being neighbours. And then we just slowly evolved into just going for a run, and then he's got mates who run, and introduced me to them, and then we sort of just all ran. And that's
nice organic.
Yeah, very organic. Yeah. There was no there's no sort of like forced whatever people who met and go running, but that's kind of the only way that it's ever really worked conveniently.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like lunchtime here.
Yeah.
Like we've gone as a group.
True.
And then that's quite nice.
Yeah.
That's convenient, but that's about it really. I don't think I've ever the sort of getting if there's like 20 minutes or half an hour of travel to get to the thing to go and then run with people.
Yeah. I'm
already like.
I understand. I mean, one of the appeals of running is like you can just put a pair of trainers on and then start.
And I think this is where on sort of like the plus for the solo bit, we've talked a lot about performance, and I think that there's the other side of running, which is just the escapism of it.
Like the me time aspect.
The me time aspect. And that's where the solo bit for me is massive, because I'm just like away from everyone. There's no noise, don't listen to music, might have the running watch on, but I'm not doing it. Like there's no interference and there's no phone. It's just going for a run.
Yeah, at your own pace.
Own set off at my own time when's convenient. Could be any, like just going out there.
Yeah.
And that's,
totally on board with that. Like, because at the same time, I'm just like that. Like, yes, we like to train certain performance aspects, but running is also about like having that kind of mental headspace as well. And like for me, I always like find it very important to have like me time. I'm like quite big on me time, and like running is like a lot of the time my me time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm running and I'm just like, and that's, you know, when the thoughts come, when you can sort of de-stress and energize, and sometimes I'm like, I've got nothing to say. If I was running with someone, I've got absolutely nothing to give.
Forced conversation. So
I'm just like running, and I probably look really miserable, but I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
But I'm just existing right now, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
that's good. That I like that. Know what you mean? You have to sort of keep the ball in the air, don't you? When you've got people in terms of conversation, you have
a little bit.
Yeah, unless you were both just there silently. Right?
But I think that's one of those times where great pauses and silence is totally acceptable.
True.
I think that like if you're out with a mate and you're sitting in the pub and you're having a pint with someone, if you sat in silence, it'd be a bit odd.
Yes.
But if you're running together and there's silence, it's just comfort in running and each other's company.
Yeah.
And then have a chat when you want. And I think that's one of the great things about running.
Yeah.
Is it has that sort of, there's a physicality to it which enables silence.
Yeah,
which it's
I agree. I mean, I think that's a really good point. We often talk about like creativity on the run, like how you have some of your best creative ideas. I found a little bit of research that said it's particularly good for think outside the box aspect of creativity.
Okay,
and numerous studies have shown that cycling, stair climbing, running have a noted improvement in that area after exercise. I would think that was more of a solo running thing as well. I can't imagine rocking up to, I don't know, your local run club and having a kind of great eureka moment about, the next podcast jingle, because you're too busy talking, aren't you? Or,
Depends if you're talking about that. You might need someone out the outside influence of other people.
True,
the creativity
that's true.
Is crucial. Like you have that, you might be muddling over a problem for ages, and you start running, and you kind of like mulling it over, and then you get chatting, and you sort of go, oh, actually, I was thinking about, and someone goes, oh, what about this? And you go,
ding.
There we go.
Ding. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely true in terms of like knowledge acquisition, right? So if you go to like a club, there's loads of experts, aren't there?
Well, it's a shared resource thing. I think it's a plus for the group side, which you don't get when you're solo. And then I'm quoting your research, but there's the element of you're tapping into people with like training advice, nutrition. Life experience with running, or if you go out running on your own and you suddenly pick up like a hamstring niggle or something like that, and you're on your own and you're kind of like, you just sort of get back and you Google it.
All you've got is the internet.
All you've got is the internet, which is a terrifying place to search for an injury. So I think if you're at a club and you've got those pals or whatever it is, even if it's just someone going, oh, go see the club physio, or I had that, and I just stretched it endlessly. Or so, you know what I mean? Like there's those sorts of things.
What I really rate about running with other people actually is learning new routes. Often,
interesting.
If I run with a friend or a club mate or whatever it is, I was like, oh, let's go down this route, and I'm like, oh, and then so actually like my knowledge of different routes is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, and
that has been built up with usually running, even if it's just one or two other people. I'm like, oh, now I know this way, because I'm like quite good at sort of exploring to an extent.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll probably like default to something
that
I know.
It's a safety element too.
Especially for the safety element and different times of the year. Whereas I'm running with other people and they're like, oh, let's try this way. Oh, this way I've done before. And I'm like, oh, okay. So actually, like my solo runs become a bit more interesting because of what I've learned.
Yeah.
And also I've done, like, as we said before, with my current club, I've done races that I would never have done otherwise.
Yeah.
In the past, when I lived in Oxfordshire, I joined I was like a lot younger then. Obviously, I joined a running club actually to meet people and learn things. And I did all kinds of like team races as well, which again I would never have done otherwise without a club. So it gives you access to more experiences as well.
That's
I think
true.
Definitely, yeah. It's interesting with the safety aspect of it. Because I think it probably is more of a female consideration. That there might be some places that you would like you potentially run in as a group that you wouldn't go solo. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, 100%. Like, so when it's, I've actually was thinking about this last night. I was like, oh, like, because at the moment, like, I quite like running after work or before work, and so like we'll do a day in the office, and then I'll get changed, and then I'll like go around Hyde Park.
And it's still light and stuff.
And it's still light and it's fine. And I thought, oh, when it gets dark, I'm going to have to like change it up, because I just don't feel comfortable running around a park when it's dark or along the canal when it's dark. But then if there was a group saying, oh, we're meeting in Hyde Park at 6 p.m. or whatever, and it's dark, but we're going together, I'll be like, okay, there's going to be other people there. So there is certainly an element of that. And I live quite close to a canal. I run up and down it a lot in the daytime. I've never done it at night. And again, my partner was like, oh, let's go up to Victoria Park. And I was like, but it'll get dark. And he'll be like, oh, it'll be fine. Like, we'll go together. And I was like, okay. And I felt confident because he was confident. I was like, okay, now I'm confident.
Yeah.
So I do, you know, like a lot of women, and not just women, like I do change my route accordingly, depending on time of year, who I'm with. Yeah,
which is a massive consideration for a solo run, which doesn't really creep into my existence so much. I feel very comfortable, or certainly safe enough to go for a run kind of wherever I wanted.
I might try and go further with mates, maybe.
Would you go further?
Maybe. I don't know if I'd just be like, oh, I'm going out and I'm going to run like 25 miles on the trails on my own. I don't really do that very often anyway.
I definitely...
But I'd just be more up for it with other people, because I feel like there'd be an element of like, we'll just get through it as a group.
I mean, I've definitely run further with mates because their route planning is terrible. And they've like gone off and been like, it's about 15k, and it's like 22. And you're like, all right, cool, well, that's totally different. But yeah, we've done that. So there's a bit of that. But no, I've done... you definitely run further, and it feels less of a feat of endurance if you've got people with you.
Yes,
you still feel your body still feels like it's worked, but you've had distraction.
Totally.
So that makes a big difference. So long, if you're training for an ultra or something, and you're able to do 5 hours with someone. That would probably be much nicer than 5 hours on your own.
Totally.
100%.
Well, but the sociability aspect of it is obviously good for groups. Have you met friends at running clubs that are still close mates now? Have you ever has that happened, or is it more like acquaintances?
Probably more like acquaintances.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I like running with you, but at the same time, I still very much like running by myself. I've met some good acquaintances.
With the greatest respect.
With the greatest respect.
I still want to do 90 to 95% of my running alone. But you can email me.
Certain hours of the day. No, so actually, Dave's mentioned on the previous podcast, who did my training plans, used to do regular lunch runs with him when we worked together. So he's still a really good mate, and that was just through like, let's just catch up on a Monday lunch, go for a run. And then I guess with like running, like even people who I ran with in Oxfordshire years ago, I'm still sort of connected with them. Like we wouldn't like, I guess if I went back, it would be like, oh, we could go for a run, possibly. So I haven't made my best mates through running, but solid connections, I would say.
Yeah, true.
And then when you go back to a race, you're like, oh, hey, how's it going? And so you have things to catch up on, you know enough, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
I think so. It's certainly like been... like it's cemented relationships.
Yes.
So I'd say that like if I've my neighbour, for example, great guy, very good friend of mine now. Probably would have been a good friend just from neighbourliness. But the extra element of running, you know, what a bond.
Yeah.
So there's that, and I just think that shared experience makes a big difference.
Definitely, yeah.
And I'd say I've met a lot of people through running, but not running with them. I think just the shared collective that is. I mean, the bubble perhaps of all running in an area.
Sure. Yeah.
Or something, or taking the kids to park run or something like that. You kind of like meet more people, and or it sort of becomes another element to like him making mates, and so you meet the parents and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, definitely, but not like. I haven't found, apart from you guys, but no, I can't say that it's sort of, it's not been the one true thing that's like
all my mates have come through the running club.
But it's definitely made a difference.
I think I'm the same as you. I think cement stuff.
But
I think there's a lot of people probably listening or watching who have,
people get married from running clubs.
Exactly.
Yeah. You find love.
That's
right. Yeah, it's the new dating, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is the new dating.
Well, which is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because Nuffield Health actually did a survey recently about group exercise.
Oh yeah.
You got some stats?
Got some stats.
Okay, great.
Some study stacks.
It looked at 2,000 adults in the UK, and apparently 29%, so that's almost a third of adults in the UK actually exercise to socialise.
Right.
So
that's huge, isn't
for a big proportion of people, actually exercise is their form of making friends. And they use the term fitness communities.
Okay.
So fitness community being like a run club or like a high rocks group or gym classes or whatever, like group exercise basically. And it said that about half of fitness community members do it because it makes them feel less lonely and that they actually make friends. So actually, even if it's not for us three, like a lot of people exercising in running clubs are a way of sort of bonding, especially for people who like work from home a lot, or I mean, I actually said for parents quite a lot. I mean, you guys are both parents, but look, parents make new friends. Through fitness communities. So there's definitely
if I was to go and live in another country or another city, the first thing I would do in terms of trying to make friends would be to join a local running crew or club.
Yes. And if you look at the impact park runs had on social care and social and just the general improvement for lots of people's lives in terms of like reduced loneliness and things like that. And COVID was a real benchmark of how significant that was when it sort of like wasn't happening and then was allowed to happen, and people have obviously had been isolated, and the return of parkrun or running in general with people was like such a massive part of it. I think that can really make a big difference.
I think that's right.
It's interesting because actually when I was moved to Oxfordshire, and then when I moved to London, which was actually around the time COVID started, I actually remember that one of the first things I did in both instances was join a run club. So even if I'm not running with them all the time, I'm not like an absolute like diehard attendee. It was actually quite important for me to have a touch point so that I could sort of dip in and out when it worked around sort of my life, when I could join this, that and the other. And I mean, like the run clubs aren't like the absolute predominant part of my life, but it's still an important kind of almost part of my identity in a way, and having that kind of community there is quite comforting.
Well, also you put on a vest to represent that club.
And that's really cool feeling. Actually,
that's a big deal, isn't it? Like I'm gonna try my hardest now to do something to help like this group of people who also have come here to do running.
It's a special part of running, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you go on one run for the rest of your life, would it be solo with a group? And you've got to do this run every other day.
Oh my god.
Solo. Yeah. I'm quite sort of, I guess from like, is that quite introvert? Like I'm just sort of like...
I'm a friendly man.
Such a miserable bloke.
Your own company, that's enough for you,
I do love my own company.
Yeah, but that's fine, mate. I mean, I think running attracts that kind of personality quite a lot, I think.
Yeah, true. Yeah, weirdo.
I mean, you're happy to cycle all on your own, aren't you?
Love that. Yeah, for sure. Yes. Yeah.
Rachel, what about you?
She wants to say solo.
Yeah. I want to say so. Something I haven't mentioned is arguably what I consider like a peak trade-off.
Yeah.
So I've done this before again with my partner. It'll be a long run.
Warm up together.
We'll warm up together.
There we go.
It'll be a long warm up. It's 5k to Vicky Park. Long warm up, and then we'll get to like the little cafe and we'll be like, right, see you in an hour. Meet you here. Then we'll like go off, do our thing.
Two things.
then come back, meet, possibly even have a coffee before we jog back.
That's nice, that. I like that.
And then we'll jog back together.
Fusion.
So it's kind of like...
It's fusion, isn't it?
It's the fusion world of solo group.
It's the, like, basically hybrid athlete.
Yeah.
Of the group solo runner.
and group, yeah.
So you get the best of both worlds. You get the little chatty bit.
Yeah.
You get, like, your session in. There's not me spluttering over someone who's finding it easy.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I'm not holding anyone back. We do our own thing. Meet back again.
It's
Job's
like
done.
a track meet.
Yeah.
It's like warm up to the track. Everyone warms up together chatting. Then the actual session starts. There's no chatting.
None.
None. And then afterwards, everyone chats again.
Yeah.
That's good. That. Yeah.
I'm not. Can I go for that one?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
hybrid.
Thanks.
What about you?
I'll go group. I think there's
through and through.
probably 4 or 5 people in total.
Yeah.
Because it's your whole life, isn't it? You get bored, don't you? You want to chat around. People fall out.
Yeah, true. I guess I'm not playing the sort of fantasy rules correctly.
I hear you saying. I'm almost talking about what my favourite one would be in many ways.
Yeah.
Involve others. Well, I thought that was a fascinating discussion about solo versus group running.
Yeah, I mean, there's no conclusion to this.
There was never going to be an outright winner, was there?
Everyone, go on your own.
Group running. I mean, solo running.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for listening to or watching the Runners World podcast, whichever you've been doing. And thank you to our special guests, Ben and Rachel. Tell us your opinions on solo versus group running. Our podcast at runnersworld.co.uk. And we'll see you again next week.
If you haven't heard already, Runners World has got a club.
That's right, 30 years in the making, the Runners World Club is here to take your running even further.
And as our dedicated viewers, listeners and fans, let's say fans, we wanted to tell you more about it. So we've got a guest here to talk about it.
That's right, we're here with our friend and colleague Jen Bazon, Membership Director, to learn more. So Jen, tell us, what exactly is the Runners World Club?
So Runners World Club is our best ever brand experience and gives readers access to a multitude of benefits, experiences and rewards, in addition to receiving the print magazine every month. And a membership to Runners World Club really does give you everything you could possibly need to get fitter, faster and healthier.
You could do with a bit of that.
Me? Yeah. Does sound good, actually, yeah.
Yeah. What do people get, Jen? What is included in a membership?
So we've got 3 different tiers of membership: bronze, silver and gold. And our gold membership is our sort of top tier, all singing, all dancing membership. And with that, you get access to our brand new training plan library via our reimagined companion app. You get access to award-winning training platform Final Surge, which gives you the ability to sync Runners World plans with your training devices. So with your Garmin, Apple Watch, Sunto, Polar, whatever your kind of preference. And that means that you can follow training sessions in real time on your watch with guided prompts. So it saves you having to sort of memorise interval sessions and things like that, as it's all programmed into your watch. You also receive our monthly print magazine, our weekly Runners World Club newsletter, and you get full access to the reimagined companion app, where you can access discounts and deals from running and fitness brands, and you also get access to exclusive gold member only content. So it's jam-packed with benefits.
And there are these live events, aren't there? Spencer Matthews was seen on last weekend with Runners World, and Susie Chan. So tell us about those.
Yes, very exciting. So what we wanted to do with membership was give our members the chance to meet and get to know each other, as well as the Runners World team and celebrity guests as well. So yeah, we hosted our first event the day before the London Marathon with Spencer Matthews, Susie Chan at the Samsung store in King's Cross, and it was a lot of fun. We had 85 runners there, and we did a shakeout run and Q&A, and it was very exciting, and the feedback was brilliant. So we're already excitedly planning our next one.
Excellent.
Let's get into the guts of this. Training plans.
Yes.
It's going to be the main draw. Lots of people have probably used the Runners World training plan across their many years of running. What are the training plans looking like?
Yeah, so our training plans have been written by Tom Craggs, Robbie Britton and Georgia Wood, and we've produced this brand new library which you can get via the app, and they span from 5k to ultramarathon. And what's really brilliant is runners now have the ability to customise those plans according to their training preferences. So if you want to, say you've got a marathon coming up in 20 weeks' time and you're targeting 3 hours, 45 minutes, and you want to do 3 to 4 runs per week, you just put that into the filter and you'll be served a tailored plan. And in addition to that, every 4 weeks in those plans, there's the opportunity to kind of reflect on how your training's going and choose an alternative plan if it's not quite working out. So say that kind of 3:45 time goal was a little bit punchy, you can sort of change to 4 hours. So that self-reflection kind of ensures you sort of are following the plan that is actually right for you.
Right, I want in. How do I join?
So you can join by clicking the link in the episode description or searching Runners World Club and signing up via the Hearst Magazine's website. And it's priced at $9.99 for your first 3 months, which is an absolute bargain.
A steal.
That is an absolute deal.